Hi, welcome to season 1 of Sexpert Talks, Healing and Empowerment Through Sexuality, Pleasure, and Relationships. My name is Samra, and I'm joined today by Janie Petersen. Hello, Janie.
Hello.
Yeah. So Janie is a Tantric sex and relationship coach, and today Janie is going to talk about raising Tantric kids, a very interesting topic. So Janie, please tell us, what does it mean to raise children in a body-positive environment?
Well, it's a topic that is really close to my heart since I have two children, a son and a daughter, and they're like in an age now where their relationship to their sexuality is like I'm laying the foundations for them basically, and I know that being a tantric mom, they basically mirror how I live my life. And the key people around them, how they live their life and how their relationship to their body is and their relationship with sexuality. And I catch myself in so many moments where I'm like, whoa, this is another like brick of their foundation that I can, charge with love, that I can charge with positive imprinting, that I can charge with conditioning that will empower them now and also later on in their life. And that to me just, working with parents and seeing them applying what they've learned for their own embodiment, their own healing, their own relationship to their sexuality, and to see that spread into the world, that to me just makes me feel so alive and so like in my power and my mission and my vision, and everything just looks more colorful and brighter, and it all makes sense, when it just everything adds up. And to me, that's super important.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. So powerful. So amazing. So what can you tell us about using tantric practices with kids? How does that look like? What are the modalities?
Yeah. It very much depends on the age of your child.
Yeah.
And they're obviously conceived through sexuality, so it starts with that in that moment. So they're just you will meet different, let's say, challenges along the way when they grow up, and it starts with the way you touch their body, the way you start to respect your own boundaries, their boundaries, the way you have conversations with them, and the quality of the conversations, and also to give them the tools to have conversations that are tough, that are awkward, that are like scary, where you really equip them with amazing ways and like building sentences, having conversations where everyone feels heard and seen and empowered to have every kind of conversation. That to me is a super, like that's like one of the main, we communicate, we're human beings, so that language is huge. And also their emotions, like how to deal with every kind of emotion that arises, especially when it comes to anger. I find that super relevant for the kids, and I've taught my kids how to deal with anger. We have like sacred anger sessions when they're allowed to say whatever they want to say, use every word. I've taught them to punch the pillows and to really express their anger. And I can see like within moments, we're like all on the floor laughing because the anger has shifted and moved. And all of a sudden their friendship or the relationship with the teacher or whatever, even with me, they get angry with me, and I'm like, okay, then. Let's do this. And they're like, but mom, you're in the same room. I'm like, it's okay. I can handle it. I know it's not really about me. It's about the trigger that I've caused in you. And so it's amazing for me to have this kind of relationship with my kids. And it's a tool to empower them in life. And so far, this has nothing to do with the sexuality that we would kind of think about when we as an adult thinks about Tantra. Yet at the same time, it is building on their life skills to have a relationship with another person, to go deep and intimate with another person, to know their boundaries and to be able
Mm-hmm.
to speak their boundaries. And that to me is like being able to lay out a playground where they can enjoy pleasure at any stage of their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even now, my son will tell me, "Mom, please don't massage me or touch my back." And I'm like, "Okay, so what do you want me to do then?" And he's like, "Just cuddling is fine for me right now." And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Okay." But like that little shift, you know, made such a difference for him to be
Mm-hmm.
able to relax fully, for me to hear and listen to his boundaries. And then in moments when I'm like, I really don't want to be touched right now,
Mm-hmm.
or hugged, or like my face patted or nothing, you know, because I'm not feeling 100%. They don't see it as a, oh, mom doesn't love me anymore. You know, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
mom is just expressing her boundaries. And I know that once she feels better, then she's open for more like, you know, heart to heart cuddling, or, you know, whatever we do, like when we snuggle up at nighttime, or, you know, like these cozy moments that you have with your child.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so amazing. And it's teaching them skills that in normal environments, either in the school environment or in society, they don't really get an opportunity to learn those skills, and particularly not around sexuality and how to express it in a more organic and natural way. That's amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah. And I
Mm-hmm.
think one other thing that I didn't mention so far is also to normalize the conversations about our bodies, about the change of our bodies. Like I celebrate that with them as much as possible. And, you know, when there is things coming up, um, like exploring your body also, I do
Mm-hmm.
that. Like I wait for their initiative, you know, I don't put
Mm-hmm.
anything upon them. I think that's another thing where some parents might get a bit too overload them with information, or
Mm-hmm.
put something onto them that they weren't ready for. So I
Mm-hmm.
usually really listen and really like pick up on their interests, their questions, and then I open up like titration, you know, open up little
Yeah.
windows, more and more of information and of opportunities where I see their longing to understand their body, their longing to understand what it means to be in this body and how it changes. And then it's amazing, like, and this is like almost on a daily basis, you know,
Yeah.
almost every day I get this I get to like infuse them with a message where I feel like I'm hoping that I am empowering them, you know.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows, you know, I am
Yeah.
by far not perfect. There's many times when I'm like, oh god, that was complete disaster, totally like failed. You know, I sometimes have to be so gentle with myself, because I feel like that was a lost opportunity big times, or I could have done
Yeah.
that so much better. Like I am far from perfect. And
Yeah.
but then I tell them too, you know, I'm like, ugh, I should have, you know, showed up more, I should have listened better, I should have, you know, I'm sorry, but I didn't really listen to your needs, or I just listened to mine. Like but again, we have this continuous conversation where it's beautiful to see how deep we can go and how healing it is, and how we also manage to get over moments where everyone just wants to like, you know, run away.
Yeah.
I am
As in
moving
all,
out.
yeah, as in all families, it will happen. It's inevitable. Exactly. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what would your advice be to parents? How can they start this conscious communication with their children, and opening them up to their both emotions, but also about expressing their sexuality?
Good question. Like it's so much about how they embody, you
Yeah.
know, their own relationship with their body, and how much they like love and treat themselves and the
Mm.
adults, you know, in the family, or and even out and about when they're like in the community. So it's really like having a very honest conversation with themselves first, to
Mm.
see where do I need to take more responsibility for my like changing my own, like coming into my own power and having a healthy relationship with my body. Because if the mom, for example, hates her breasts, or her, you know, hates her body parts, and then she will show it in some
Mm.
way or another, or even talk about it very clearly, and the
Mm.
kids will pick up on that. And then to shift that into a more loving relationship with her own body, so the kids can see it. So when they ask questions about her boobs, she's not like, why would you say that? Why do you want to touch my boobs? No, they're ugly. Or, you know, there's so many little messages we can send out, and it's just to catch yourself in those moments, and then to have like a way to foster a nurturing and empowering relationship with your own body, but also towards the body of your child. I mean, the communication techniques that I use with my kids, it would go into too much detail right now to really explain it fully, but it's based on the principle of mirroring, of giving space for who's listening at the moment and who is speaking at the moment, to be very clear, so it's not like butting into each other. And you can like set a timer, you can have a talking stick, you can, you know, pass something around if there's more than two people, so people really feel like, or parts of the family really feel like they're being heard and seen, and they have the space to talk. That's very simple ways. But all in all, like the techniques are super simple, yet it's good to have practiced them with yourself first, and with like a grown-up first, before you then go off and use them with your child. But that's they're all the things that I'm also teaching in my online program and in my coaching, because I usually work with the couples first, because they feel like they're in need with building on their intimacy between the mom and the dad, or the partners, you know, the moms, like the key partners, and then they use it with their children, and you know, so it's like trickling down.
Yeah, so amazing. So it's about doing your inner work, doing your work as a couple, as the guardians of the children, and then working with the children. That's amazing, beautiful. And how do you think a child needs to be in order for this type of communication to start with them, to start this type of conscious communication?
How old?
Yeah.
I think you can start that as soon as they're ready to communicate, because there's so much of also body language, and really listening to your child, being present with your child. I mean, they learn that from the moment they see you. You know? It really doesn't. There's no real like starting point, and you can tell. You can tell when they're ready to focus, and it might be like half a minute at first, and then later on they might be ready for 3-4 minutes or 5 minutes. But your child will tell you. You'll know when they're ready for that. And but I think a really key time is when their body is changing as well. So around 7, 8, 9. I think that's a super crucial time when they come out of their dream phase, and then into more of relating to the world more, relating to their own body more, and then to really celebrate the changes, and to just be there for them and listen to them. Also, I try not to like put my story onto them, or my idea of what the world should look like onto them too much. There's still so many messages out there in the school system and in the communities that we live in, where it's so gender driven, it's so you have to be married to have children. Like, there's still so many old stories hanging around, and I try and like break them up to give more space around them, and be more like, well, you might have like, to my son, I was saying, you might have a girlfriend, or you might have a boyfriend. We don't know yet. Time will tell. But I always leave as many options as possible, so I'm not sort of giving them the one patriarchal idea of how we've been told to live our lives. So that to me is super important.
Beautiful, amazing. And in terms of empowering children to have a more healthy relationship with their sexuality, are there any specific Sorry, the internet broke up for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm
Can you
here.
hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, the internet froze for us a little bit. So I was wondering, just in terms of developing this empowering relationship of children with their sexuality, is there any specific tools that you recommend to parents or caretakers?
I can hear you. It's a bit
Yeah,
slow, something. I think we're good now.
yeah, I think I think the glitch is over.
So you're asking about the tools for parents or
Yes,
caretakers to
yeah,
empower them with their
yeah. In terms,
sexuality. Oh. Okay.
yeah,
It's on and off.
yeah. Can you hear me now? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my question. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it depends on the age and also where the child is at, because some children move fast with that. They're curious and they want to explore, and others are not. And it's really like to tune into your child and to be acceptive of what your child's journey looks like. So some kids might be totally ready for self-love, massaging, self-masturbation, and others there's nothing, and just to be acceptance of where they're at. And when you hear that there's curiosity or there's doubts about their behavior or about their relationship, then to really listen to their needs, to find out, like, how can I support you with that? Or also to, especially things like masturbation, to teach them, just like when you train them how to go to the toilet, it's like you train them where they can have those spaces, so they don't find themselves in situations where people might be giving them negative messages or shameful messages. So it's to be smart around that, and also to be okay with where they're at and their pace, and just to see, like, when they are curious, to maybe there's books, maybe there's movies, maybe there is internet websites appropriate to their age, because I believe, like, when they're teenagers, it's a whole different story again. I mean, I'm more mine are now 8 and 10, so that's I'm learning with them, every step along the way. But yeah, just to be open, and so they know that they can come to you and ask you questions, and when you don't know, then I go, okay, that's how I signed up for my sex, love and relationship coaching program, because like Minna asked me about her yoni, like a question. She's like, Mom, what is this part? And I'm like, I don't know. And so I was like, I want to educate myself. So it's to be honest with yourself too, like how far can you take them? And that's usually just as far as you've walked, because everything else is just making up stories. But it's sometimes we explore together, we try and find information together, and it's so much fun just to be on this honest, open journey with them.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. That's so amazing. Wonderful. So before we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers, listeners around this topic?
Just to be gentle with yourself, and for those parents who feel like they haven't done a good enough job in their eyes, or they haven't they've done mistakes in their eyes in the past, just to be gentle with where you are at, where your children are at, and to know that today is always a good day to start and to make changes and to reach out for help, and to start to really grow for yourself and nurture yourself. And then the kids will automatically, they will tune into that. There's not a lot of doing that needs to happen. It's just really tuning into yourself to see where you're at and what excites you the most about learning and expanding and feeling pleasure in your body, because your kids will get it really quick when they're ready. Like, they will switch on to things so fast, and they obviously love seeing their parents in pleasure and in like enjoying life and enjoying their body, and obviously within healthy boundaries of that. But yeah, I think mums need that reminders, and dads to just be gentle with themselves and to know that they've, so far they've done their best to love, to give love and to receive love with their children. It's not about beating yourself up. It's just about growing together and expanding together and asking for support and help.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. So we were joined today by Janie Petersen. She was talking about raising tantric kids, raising kids in a body positive and sexually positive environment. You can find out more about her coaching programs and about her work in the comment section below. Thank you again, Janie, so much for this wonderful, amazing, and very important area of work.
Yeah, you're so welcome. And yeah, I'm known under Tantra Mama on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm just about to launch my website, so stay tuned for that. And there's an online course coming for parents, how to raise their kids in a conscious, sex, body, positive and conscious way. And yeah, look forward to hearing any questions or insights or any sharings that people have around this topic.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Janie.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.